Instagram. Hey YouTube, welcome. I'm Leah Lauder, your favorite mega church cult survivor, and I'm live on TikTok, and I'm about to go live on Instagram as well, so I don't have to repeat myself. Hello Instagram, it's Leah, your favorite mega church cult survivor, and I am live on TikTok and I'm live on YouTube. I'm just going to respond to a TikTok survivor. Did you hear about the human fecal matter? What happened? Hey, lay your roof. All right, guys, I'm just going to get straight into it. I survived 18 years in a mega church cult. I experienced multiple ABUSE from, because basically the cult leaders are malignant narcissists. They're either malignant narcissists, Lucia in the cut, Machiavellian psychopaths or sociopaths. They'll be one of those because the EVIL that they're doing up in there, you know, it is. And then a lot of the members develop antisocial personality disorders as well, and I'm going to get into that tonight because they take on the pseudo personality of the mega church cult leader. And there's a term for it. You know, when people are indoctrinated, it's like the lights are on but no one's home. It's like a robot. It's like they're soulless. And there's something called, I think it's soulless eyes. Have you not heard of this theory? Soulless eyes. And the whole ideology is like that they've got these eyes when there's no soul. So it's like no matter when they're smiling, different emotions, the eyes will be like unalived. And that's exactly what they have, soulless eyes. I was trying to, like, you know what, DHS bombs, I gotta call you. Yeah, it's blank eyes, blank soulless eyes. I did a piece on a pastor called Seamus, this whitey Irish guy that has he's a missionary now on the compound in Ghana, but the cult leader calls it at Anagkazo Bible School. And I did that piece, and so many people have come back to me and said, like, that is one of the most disturbing pieces that you've done. Like, I was really disturbed to see him like that. You can be looking into the windows and no one's home. Yeah, it's like there's no one there. It's like it's completely soulless. And the thing is, guys, it's because the indoctrination in there is so intense. It's like 24 hours, because not only are they indoctrinating you when you're in the space, because remember, it's not preaching, it's indoctrination. It's twisting and manipulation of the scriptures, and it's mystical manipulation. It was so scary. It's like, even when he's smiling, it's like, I can't even do it because my eyes are not soulless. My eyes are not soulless, but I have to wear my glasses to preserve my energy, man, because I've just been building myself back up. But it's remember I said to you that there's this theory that you can tell it's a cult through the behavior of the members. And you know, that changed my life on how I saw things, because I was like, it's so true. Even when you're speaking to these severely indoctrinated Christians, it's like banging your head against the you know what, because it's like nothing you say is getting in. That's because everything that they do up in these church cults is program based. It's program based. Everything that they say and do is there it's all programming, from the one-to-one interaction that you have with people. Why? Because they take on the pseudo personality of the cult leader. They have been indoctrinated and they have been programmed to have the mind of the cult leader. Why? Because the cult leader believes if there were more little mini hymns or hers and had more thought the way he or she thought, that the world would be a greater place. So they have these grandiose superiority kind of like savior complexes, and that's why religion appeals to these type of unwell individuals, because it feeds the ego. It's a constant supply. You will always find narcissists, they're in high powered roles, but you will find narcissists in roles where they have a position of power over vulnerable people. That could even be a support worker, like client or vulnerable young person dynamic, where they have control and they can almost like play God. That's where we'll see them. So we find them in these sectors where they work with extremely vulnerable people. And so a church setting would be very attractive for a narcissist, okay? Because there's that constant supply that they get from the congregation, the worship, everybody sitting down, listening, him giving orders and instructions, people obeying it. And you see, what happens with this is, this is interesting. Okay. So one of the ways that you can identify that these church cults are cults is that there will be like this overall vision of like church planting. There'll be a big drive to build churches and win souls. Even if the church cults are small, there might only be like 30 or 50 people. It's the vision, it's the mindset, okay? And the most ABUSIVE church cults are the smaller ones, but the pastor has a vision to have all of these branches and all of these, you know, this powerful ministry, and he's just not getting there. So there'll be a lot of projection. I'm going to use NGRM as a perfect example. We've got Onyeka, false prophet Onyeka, and false prophetess CC Power. There's a lot of, and I'm going to bring out a piece where I'm going to show the mystical manipulation and the promotion and the selling of Christianity and Jesus Christ. And these pastors are the biggest fraudsters that you could find within Christendom, because usually you see the prophets, anyone can say they're a prophet, just like anyone can say they're a pastor, but you don't. The thing about the prophet is there's no formal qualifications that you can go through to become a prophet. We know that in Jeremiah 29:1, it says that God knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. So the prophetic is something that has to be given. It's like a mandate. You before you were even born, you were chosen. So it's a chosen role. And there aren't many prophets. Thanks, Emil. So when you see ordinations happening, inaugurations, prophetic schools, they're immediately false. That it's not scriptural. There's no evidence. It's scriptural to say that God has chosen the prophet before they were formed in their mother's womb. So when you see that, that's a definite no-no. Those type of prophets, you'll get extremely uneducated people. You'll get people that operate in the occult. That's why we've had an infiltration of false prophets. Remember, Christ said that there will be a lot of false prophets will rise up in my name and say, Lord, Lord, but I'll say that I don't know you. When you're in a church cult, it's like they say that scripture, but there's cognitive dissonance. You don't really understand it. It's only when you come out of these settings and you are awakened and you see the light that you see the problem, you see the actual infiltration of the false prophets in Christendom. So where we're at the moment is we have an epidemic where there's been an infiltration of false prophets that have come in and they do not hear from God. They are working with deities, they're working with the occult, they're working with rituals, dark magic and practice. Because I'm a very open person, yeah, and I'm spiritual, I'm not religious, okay? So I accept and I give this platform is for everyone to speak their voice, but not the severely indoctrinated. They wouldn't welcome me to come and speak in their churches or their little cell groups or their prayer meetings. So it's the same rules over her, yeah. So what I'm just going to say with this, guys, is that I've completely disassociated from what I was saying. But oh yeah, that's what I was saying. The prophets, the false prophets, they are the ones that will be operating. Yeah, that's what I was saying. The Vidun practitioner came on my live one time and basically said that these prophets, these false men of God, they siphon the energy of the congregants. They also soul farm. So she was saying that the young people carry like a certain light, like energetically, and that's why you're like you're youthful, you got all the energy. That's what they want to suck that out of you so that you will build their empires. They're not churches, it's a business, it's a pyramid scheme. You bring people, and even if you bring 2 people, they'll be like, well done, you brought 2 people, bring 5. You brought 5, bring 10. Thank you, Thomas. And I'm also, for the follow, I'm also going to be exposing the pyramid schemes in my church cult, because a lot of pastors were doing up pyramid scheme. Is it Thursday today? No, tomorrow. Sorry, guys, I've got to speak to a survivor. It's that same pyramid scheme structure, and then they do the same positive and negative reinforcement. And that's why you'll see people of influence who had certain influence in the world, and they come into the cult, they will get accelerated in the ministry really fast. Because when you look at the Stephen Hassan influence continuum under his bite model, it shows that negative influence is about authoritarian control, it's about dictatorship. You can't, it shuns on like individuality. There's no autonomy. They dictate to you. They control your every move. But the positive influence looks like nurture. It looks like positive reinforcement. It looks like individuality. It looks like autonomy. So when they have a person with influence, the ability to have influence, and that's across an organizational, leadership and individual level, because you have to remember they're a certain influence like 24 hours through the preaching, aka indoctrination. Then they've got it in the structures and the systems. You have to be loyal, speak when you're spoken to, obey instructions. The pastor is touch not the Lord's anointed. They put it all in the system through the Fort Reform program. They then use transcendent belief systems through mystical manipulation to twist and manipulate scripture. So, for example, I'm going to maybe use like 3 examples if I can think of 3. The first one is the tithe. The tithe is in the Bible, but it's not biblical. What do I mean by that? When we look at the historical context of tithe, because it's important when looking at the canon Bible to look at it from a contextualized lens, we need to put the times into context. Because the reason why we don't see any books in there from women was because when we look at the time, women weren't allowed to read and write. They were lesser than cattle. They didn't have a status, etc., etc. So we have to look at the factors surrounding that, you know, we're not going to really have a woman's voice. So then we have to say, okay, from a non-biased lens and that approach, we have to say, okay, well, misogyny and patriarchy was rife. That's really why I believe that Christ came. One of the biggest reasons was the emancipation of women, because as we know, Christ came to set the captives free, to be a voice to the voiceless, to bring hope to the hopeless. And it was hopeless for women, Jer. Yeah, so that's why they wanted to unalive Jesus, because he was breaking the rules, like moving with women who weren't married. You know, Mary Magdalene has written a gospel, but they cannot authenticate it. But they seem to be able to authenticate Paul's gospels, that, you know, he came so long after Jesus Christ. Mary was a disciple. She was an apostle to the apostle. The first one at the feet of Jesus, the last one at the feet of Jesus, the first one that Jesus appeared to, who gave her the message to tell everyone that he is risen. She went and traveled, risking her life to get that alabaster box, spending a lot of money, probably everything she had, to prepare Christ for his burial. She cried so much that she washed his feet with her tears. She anointed him with the oil, and then she dried his feet with her hair. So I don't understand why they can't authenticate that. Anyway, the Levite priests of the time, I think it was the Levite priests, I don't think they had citizenship or something to work. So the whole idea of setting up the tithe was to be able to help them, to support them. And it was for that time and that day. When they do up the mystical manipulation, Queen Innes in the car, that's when they're saying to you, if you don't tithe, you're going to HELL. Will a man rob God? You're robbing God if you don't pay your tithe. Thanks, Queen Innes. So do you see that that's fear-based? That's fear-based. So that's fear, and that's manipulation. My cult leader has a book, Why Tithing Christians Are Rich and Non-Tithing Christians Are Poor. No, babe, I don't think so, because I know of people in the cult that were both pastors, that had 2 children and were living in a council flat in a 1-bedroom, and they were sleeping in the room with their kids. How did they get it on down if they're all sleeping in the same room? Because they couldn't afford to move. I know people who don't tithe, who are in much better positions. Then they bring in, you know, the religion that comes before, like what Jesus Christ was. They bring that in and they say, oh, the reason why they're so blessed, the reason why they're so wealthy, the reason why they're so this is because they're doing up the principle of the tithe. It's the tithing principle. That's why people in the world, when they give to charity or they give to, you know, they're reaping what they sow. It's a principle because God showers his righteousness. No, God showers his favor on the righteous and the unrighteous. They bring in all of these scriptures. That's the mystical manipulation. That's why I believe that I had to be in there for 18 years, because it's like I was in there for too long not to be. Ooh! Oh, Innes, you shouldn't. Thank you, Queen. I just got a big gift on TikTok. Thank you, Queen. That's really cheered me up. Exactly. She's the first one to have seen him when he rose. Babe, if I'm honest with you guys, yeah, because I'm still deconstructing, but one of the reasons why I can't let Christ go is because as a woman, thinking about that act that Mary Magdalene done, when I think about worship and I think about adoration and I think about love and I think about passion, because they've walked passion, the alabaster box scene is the ultimate epitome of what passion is. The passion of Christ. Nowhere in the Bible have I seen that type of passion. The only time I can talk about the passion of Christ is then the crucifixion. And I'm sure that Mary Magdalene loved Christ that much that she would have taken his place, you know. I've always had a deep sense of like a connection with Mary Magdalene and her story. And my spiritual father actually named me after Mary Magdalene. He called me Leah Mary. Same. Get her gospel. If you felt like that, guys, get her gospel, because they also will register as a charity. Oh yeah. They tell you that it's a spiritual university, but it's a registered charity, yeah, to financially exploit us. That's why I recommend that everyone that comes out of a cult, a church cult, the first thing you should be going to do, what if you're questioning it, just look a mess. You should go and look at the company's house, because you'll see how much thieves they are, Jer. That passion with Mary Magdalene, the emancipation of women, the way how he put women on the map, the way how, do you know what I mean? Like, even if you don't believe in Jesus Christ as a son of God, you got to, do you know what I mean? Like, he was a revolutionist. You got to look at him like a feminist. You get me? Oh, she's so controversial. They've given the rhetoric of Jesus the way they've wanted to give it. Do you know what I mean? Like, guys, all these pastors are doing, yeah, is going and reading the Bible, getting their, it's their opinion. It's their opinion. It's their opinion. They're self-proclaimed prophets. I think you're moving into dangerous territory when you start doing up prophet, you know. Thanks, Amazing Grace. These people don't know God, man. These people don't know God. They don't fear God. Because what they need to understand is sin is sin. They've created the different measuring yardsticks for sin. God don't see it like that, Chair. God is judging and testing the heart. So long as you believe, you remain vulnerable. Give me a little bit more, Em. I don't get what you're saying on YouTube. In Islam, we have a whole chapter book devoted to Mary. Oh, do you? I'm talking about Mary Magdalene, not Mary, not Jesus' mother. I don't think you've got that, girl. Have you got a book on Mary Magdalene? Because if you've got a book on Mary Magdalene, listen, I'm gonna hit up my homeboy, Chair. I get him to meet me halfway, because he's got, but it's in Arabic. Is it Mary Magdalene? I don't think it's Mary Magdalene, girl. I think it's Mary, the mother of Jesus. Anyway, I'm waiting for Tasia to confirm, Chair, because if that's in there, I'm going to look. And that's the thing, like, I mean, I'm not going to lie, girl. I do still think there's oppression to women in Islam. I'm not going to sit here, because, you know, I have to keep it real with you. But I don't know enough about Islam to get into it, so I'm not going to do that up. But I do have to say that, just because I have to keep it fair. But what I will say is that if there is a book of, no, it's the mother of Jesus, yeah, because I don't think you got, because they've tried to delete Mary Magdalene. They've tried to delete her existence, Chair. But the problem is, you can't tell the story of the crucifixion and the resurrection of Jesus Christ without Mary, Chair. That's just what it is, you know. She's the main character. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, the whole and it's, guys, do you know what, I don't want to scare people off, do you know what I mean? But I need to get a way of getting maybe people who are ready for certain conversations, because I'm ready to deconstruct to a higher level, and I just want people who are who don't really classify themselves as any religion, or maybe they're just believing in God. But and I'm not trying to segregate people, but the reason why I'm doing this is because it needs to be a safe space for people who just want to explore. And if you do still have certain mindsets, because I'm feeling, I don't want people that still are religious or see themselves as Christians to feel like they can't come on and deconstruct. But the problem is, if they're still in, like, heavily inside religion, I don't know. I think that my content would be more there to appease the wounds or treat the wounds rather than heal the wounds. Do you know what I mean? Like up the live, please, guys. Thank you so much. So we find ourselves in a situation right now where there's a lot of panic within Christendom and the megachurch. And the problem is, until they take accountability, it's just going to be worse and worse. You know what I mean? Because if you see now, for example, I did some content. I'm coming to you, YouTube. I did some content on a street preacher, yeah, who almost got arrested. Now, I saw this street preacher like last year. Like, there was a inebriated man, and he was asking him, "Can I just say I love you, Jesus," through the mic? That's all I want to say. And he was like, oh no, sorry, you know, I can't let you do that. You know, some people, they profess to know Jesus, but they don't. You know, you're not in the right position right now to say I love you, Jesus. You know, my man doesn't even want to preach. He just wants to say, I love you, Jesus. And I just said to myself, wow, this guy is not, forget evangelist, he's just not a basic Christian. Like, it's not even about, you know, it's not about this. It was all these titles they've brought in. Like, you're not supposed to call no man leader. There's not supposed to be no titles, babe. You're just supposed to personify Christ. That's what you're supposed to be, like an example. You're not supposed to be going around dictating to everyone and feeling like you're better than other people because you're an evangelist. They don't even, do you know what's crazy? Yeah, they don't even see. Listen, religion was created, yeah, to mentally enslave people and entrap people. I'm sorry, guys. This is just where I'm going with it now. Like, you know, if you're not ready for it, don't come on the live. Don't engage, because you know it's like the whole. When you think about religion and we strip it all back, yeah, it's just feeling like occultism, because you know, like the control. It's like the control in your mind. It's mental slavery. Do you get what I'm saying? So my whole ideology is, did these wicked forces or occultists in high places create religion to keep us mentally laved so that we would be controlled in our mind even when they're not there? Because that would make sense, because they want us to be civilized. They want us to follow the structures. Guys, if you look at this system, we're in a self-sealing system. This planet is a self-sealing system. You know, there's so much structure. Like, even when you look at the driving, like, everything is so controlled. Everything is so controlled. It's like Big Brother. There's cameras everywhere. Like, we are not free, Jer. So the freedom is a state of mind. I believe freedom is about, I think we can, guys, would you agree that we could bring ascension and evolution within that? Because my hypothesis behind this is that the more free you are, or the more free that you feel in the mind, in the psyche, the more you can be true to self and be in your authenticity. How does that feel, guys? What's your thoughts on it? All right, in YouTube, we've got, he said, or she, so long as you believe, you remain vulnerable. So I mean, if you remain religious, you remain vulnerable. Yeah. I don't think some of your comment came through, Tasia. Yeah, I believe that. Oh, thanks. Oh, thanks, Tanley. You're such a queen. Thank you. I mean, this is another thing as well, like head wraps. I do really love wearing head wraps, you know, and I just think, I don't think it's something that, it's a personal relationship, you know, like there are things that I do in my closet, in my private quiet time. Or quiet time is triggering, sorry guys, that slipped out. In my private space, and I feel like my relationship to God, because there's a romance, and there's a passion, that element of things, with your worship with God. And for me, I liken it to, like, you know, like a relationship, like a lover almost. And it's like when you have that intimacy, you don't want to go and be telling everyone, and maybe you're nearest and dearest, but you're not going to go and publicize it, is it? Do you know what I mean? So I think it's like I think this time that we're in, this age, I think we're really learning to like deconstruct and kind of redefine what do you know what religion is getting exposed, Chair. Religion is getting exposed, the origins of it. I think a lot of people are awakening. There's a lot of people doing research. The internet has allowed us to connect in ways that we've never been able to connect before. And so, you know, because we didn't have technology, because we are technology, right? And oh my god, guys, there's so much, like they come for these crystals, and they come for these, because you got to remember there's a lot of crystals like in their raw form, yeah, because they're just stones. to even like generate electricity and things, you know, in the past, but they just demonize things that they don't understand. Because, you know, religion is quite closed-minded, and it's very black and white thinking, and they have to do a lot of information control so that they keep people controlled, they keep people in line with their propaganda and their rhetoric that they're trying to sell. But back onto the technology. Historically, it was about numbers, because we didn't have technology to be able to just communicate with each other just instantly, this, that, and the third. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was more, you know, meeting in public spaces, this, that, and the third. So, D-Day, what do you mean? I don't understand what you mean, girl. Do you wanna? I don't. Okay, thanks, Ines. Yeah, but Leah, that's the colonial mindset to demonize things we use from the earth. Yeah, 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 it is. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I agree 100%, babe. I agree 100%. And that's why the internet is so powerful, because there's more people in the world there's more people in the world, period, than there are Christians. Okay. So now that we've been connected online, we can see, because in these self-sealing systems, they lie, they make themselves so powerful. They're riding off the back of old glory. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why they operate like they're now coming out to say we're a Christian nation. You know, now the police are like telling them, you can't just be out here doing this. You can't just be putting leaflets in people's faces. You can't just be enforcing your religion on people. You can't just be encroaching in public spaces. They're out here like, we're a Christian. It's like, babe, we haven't been a Christian nation for years. Like, since the pandemic, people been, do you know what I mean? Like, more just trying to protect their peace, and people are getting more into like energy and vibes and spiritual, because it's like, what has religion done? Like, it's been around for thousands of years. Like, what has it really done? I feel like we've progressively got worse as a society, and everyone's fed up, everyone's tired, man. I'm not gonna lie, the biggest thing that was done was that American leader. I don't care what anyone says. It's really sad what's going on in there. And, you know, usually England, we're not far behind. But guys, it has to get, you know, worse before it gets better, chair. And it has really shown us, like, that's what happens. That's what happens, boy, when you got the power of the Christian vote. Do you understand? Because there was going to be a lot of people who were just sitting on the fence and just like, oh, I don't believe in politics, you know, I'm not going to vote, like, da 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 da. And from a lens of whatever's going to happen is going to happen anyway, I can kind of, because you have to be able to see it from many lenses. So I'm not going to demonize people who didn't want to vote and whatever, but clearly we're seeing someone with those very fundamentalist values. We can see what he's doing up there, and we can see that this mass following up from that same group, from these types of church cults. And it's absolutely, it's like that, because it's RADICAL. A lot of these people are from these Christian church cults, very RADICAL. The evangelicals, the Pentecostals, the charismatics, these are the people that we're seeing. And then the fundamentalist church cults. The American pastors actually told their members to vote. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. And so, you know, it's just the same manipulation, control, and characteristics and cult tactics. They told them they're fighting for God but voting for the tangerine. Oh God. What is my belief? What I'm going to say to that is, I don't like to put myself in a box, because I don't think we could put God in a box. So what I'm going to say to you is, I'm just a child of God. I'm just a child of God. It's quite simple. You know, it's only the mega church that want to give titles. There's no greater title than being a child of God. Don't ever get it twisted. There's no greater honor than being a child of God. There's no greater title or greater position to have than being a child of God. Yeah. The access that you get, you like, because we have a birthright. Go and read your Bible, man. Go and read your Bible. Do you get what I'm saying? Dollars and dimes. Do you know what? I don't want my TikTok to get off. So I'm just, you know what? I'm not going to say anything because he's not even worth it, man. It's not even worth the energy all the time. So again, I'm still in deconstruction. I don't class myself as a Christian because the more I'm deconstructing, the more corruption that I see. I do still believe in Yeshua. And yeah, that's all I'm going to share right now. I'm still deconstructing. And once I have, you know, I don't know how long that journey is going to take me, to be honest. I don't know. I suppose when it just feels right. I don't know. Will anyone ever work it out? And it's okay not to know. It's okay not to know. Yeah, I'm writing a book, babe. I haven't written in it for a while, but I am writing a book. It's okay not to know. Shall come. Can you put in the comments what it is that you want to discuss? Are you a survivor? What is it that you want to contribute? Oh no, my book will be out by the end of the year, babe. It's okay to not know. It's okay to not have it all figured out because that is what makes God God. These false prophets and these systems, they're claiming to have all the answers, and it's just not like that. We walk by faith and not by sight. We're not supposed to know what it looks like around the corner. That's the point. Can someone block that sanctimonious, holier than thou, self-righteous? Have I got mods on here? Who's on here tonight? Thanks, babe. So they're just trying to take me out of character and whatever. But do you know what? I'm actually in recovery because I've been unwell. So I'm not going to come on here and be triggered by washed up individuals. Do you know what I mean? I'm just not going to do that. I don't have the energy. I've got a really busy weekend as well. And today's a special day. So I'm just not interested in the human fecal matter. They're just mad. They're just mad because I'm making so much impact. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm going to do... Listen, you lot said I love attention. That is true. I'll do anything to get attention, my love. Anything I have to do, I'll do it to get attention. Attention for the cause. Before I was getting attention for myself and getting in the bag. But now... I'm using those same, you could call it gifts and talents because, is there a difference if I'm PIMPing up myself for the collective? Because you gal them are doing it every day when you're going and recruiting on the side of the streets. They got you working. Do you know what I mean? That's what you're outside doing. Do you know how many videos I've got of these gal them flirting with people outside? I've got to do that piece. Like, you know what I mean? That's all they're doing is flirty fishing, gaslighting, deception. You know what I mean? Flirting with the man them are flirting with the gal them. That's all it is. That's why they love, like a good looking chap in the church. I had a survivor. He said that there was this girl that was infatuated with him, and then she stopped coming to church. And then the pastor was like, "Oh, let's go on a visitation because tell her you're coming to visit her because she'll open the door to you." And they were like trying to ambush her and not tell her that he was with the pastor. So he went to the door first, and guys, all her whole bust was out. He was like, if the pastor wasn't there, like he would have got tempted. Because remember, these man them are celibate. Some of them are in there. Some of them are. A lot of them are DL. A lot of them can be celibate for like 10 years. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I don't even know where all these thoughts are coming from. I'm trying to hold it down, man. These man them in the settings are fruity. I'm not even gonna lie. I had to recruit my ex-husband in because the femininity in there was mad. It's like they're neither female nor male. It's so weird. I can't even explain it, yeah. And then the ones who are in there, they're like, it's toxic hyper masculinity. So it's really weak guys, like, do you know, like in their appearance, like their presentation, like how they present is just so feminine. It's so, you know what I mean? But then they're putting on this like hyper. It's like they're actors. It's like they're role playing. Like it's like they're acting. and it's like you'll get cognitive dissonance because you'll be thinking, what is he doing? Do you know what I mean? But you're in the environment and you're getting indoctrinated to like see these people as leaders and whatever. A lot of these man them in these positions are just weird. They're so strange. And it's like people overlook it because they've got to indoctrinate you know, to like see the man of God as like, you know, you can't speak against the man of God, like touch not the Lord of God, because they don't want people to say their true mind. Because if people say their true mind, people are going to be saying stuff like, oh, I'm sure that pastor's on the spectrum. And no disrespect to people with autism, because I've actually got an assessment for autism and ADHD. But what I will tell you is I have seen a plethora of men in there with undiagnosed autism. You know, they're presenting like they're on the spectrum. Do you know what I mean? They're hyper fixated on certain things. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you can see it in there, man. You can see it in there. And so these pastors, they take, and those type of guys, yeah, they're usually like the most radical. And the pastor will take them and he just gets his claws into him because they like getting their claws into vulnerable adults. They love it. Because remember, a vulnerable adult will think in a certain way, like differently. So they'll be easier to manipulate, to gaslight. They'll take things more literally. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's why there won't really be an in-between. You'll find there's three types of groups. You'll find like vulnerable adults, or you'll find adults who come from very traumatic backgrounds and feel like they owe everything and need to, you know, overcompensate, you know, for their sins because they've been so sinful and they're so thankful and they owe their life to God. So it's like hyper religiosity, that a lot of them are in spiritual psychosis and cognitive dissonance states for many, many years. So they will push themselves above and beyond what they can actually do, you know, pushing mind, body, everything to the absolute maximum. You'll have women in there with 5 kids. Do you know what I mean? Like absolutely breaking her back. That's why women in there, they get like cancers, they get like hypertension, like high blood pressure, like kidney diseases, like autoimmune diseases. A lot of women get like these unexplained illnesses, but it just comes under the umbrella of the autoimmune kind of strand. So there's a lot to unpack. And you know what, guys, I could talk about this forever, honestly. Guys, I've got no notes. I don't even come on there with notes, man, and push their views onto others, especially the new ones. Yeah. Look, listen, the only type of adults you'll see in there is vulnerable adults. They've got some sort of traumatic past, or they're a vulnerable adult, so they've got like mental health, or they've got, they're neurodivergent, or do you know what I mean? They've got learning difficulty. And another group that you'll get is women like auntie. So you might get a few aunties in there, like older women who have maybe like grown up in religion their whole life. Then maybe like they backslid, then they had a child, and then they came back to God, and they come back very hyper spiritual. They're usually like mothers of the church. They're totally disassociated, and they just throw themselves into the work and the things of God. It's very rare that they're going to find a husband, you know what I mean? But more time, these pastors, especially these false prophets like Cece and Onya Kaboy, if there's a member in there that's valuable to them, they'll find a way. These pastors find a way, you know. They even go back home. Cece will go and get someone from Gambia, chair. Do you know what I'm saying? Are you mad, like, to come and marry up the gal? That's what they do up. I mean, I want to say as well. Oh, hi, Rhoda. How are you, girl? Are you all right? Are you still trying to teeth people's beloveds in there? Are you still trying to teeth people's beloveds in there? Babe, my ex-husband didn't want you when he was trying to do up what he was doing up. Oh, it seems like you've left. Oh, how convenient. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought, B. That's what I thought. Because even right now, babe, you see how me and my ex-husband ain't even together. But if I called my ex-husband, I told him, come and blow out this back, he'd be here in 5 seconds. Don't ever get it twisted, baby. Don't ever get it twisted, baby. Don't ever get it twisted, baby, because if anybody, you lot who know and you've seen my kids, you will see that them kids are an absolute carbon copy of me, Chair, and have got my absolute personality. So my ex-husband very much loves his kids and loves them around him, and they are exactly like me, Chair. So don't ever get it twisted, baby. Clock it. Do you know what I'm saying? Let me tell you a bit about this gal. So when I first started coming to the church, because guys, I'm not gonna lie, my ex-husband's not butters. There's a lot of gal them. Most gal them that are on the live right now would be feeling my ex-husband. That's on period, point blank. He ain't butters. My kids are very beautiful, and he has a very beautiful family, so he ain't butters. And that's why I say he wasn't my type. Do you understand? Because he's like caramel, like good looking. Like I don't go for that type of man them. So anyway, I brought him to the church cult. Guys, no word of a lie to you. This was like his first time coming to the church cult. Obviously, we've been talking and but I knew how the gal them were thirsty. And also because I was a spiritual daughter of the house and I had backslidden and I was coming back with this guy, I didn't want it to be like, oh, we're like beloveds, because we weren't. We were just chatting and getting to know each other, but we were feeling each other. So I introduced him as a friend. So I've brought this ninja in here. No word of a lie to you. This girl Rhoda, yeah, that's on my live right now. She attends London Apache. I think she's about my age. She must be 38 now. Are you married, babe, or are you still on the shelf? So basically, when I bought my ex-husband now, Ines, do you think I should restart the live? When I bought my ex-husband now, this was the first day him coming. This girl comes running up to me. We're in a big cathedral, comes running up to me like a beg. And she's like, Leah, is that your cousin? Looking back now, that was just a projection because you know he's not my cousin, Chair. This girl's asking a million questions. So anyway, long story short, my ex-husband he's Edo. He's from Benin. So this girl Rhoda is also from Benin, and it's like the smaller tribe. So it's not as popular as like Yoruba and Igbo and all of that. Yeah. So now she's extra excited because he's Edo. So now, do you know what? I didn't even pay no attention. She was following him around like the pick me she is. He was just not interested, not even for a second. I just left her to it. He even came to me. He was like, "Oh, you know, Rhoda, like, so now we're having a pillow talk now, isn't it?" And he's like, "Oh, you know, Rhoda, he's making jokes like I think Rhoda wants me, and you know, like joking, like we were literally laughing about it. You know, like on the drive home, we were busting up. It was comical, absolutely comical. She was like throwing herself onto him, and that's what they're like in there. They're very thirsty, extremely thirsty. So they will throw themselves onto men. All right, TikTok, I'm gonna restart. If you want to come back, come back. All right, it's okay. Guys, I'm going to have to put this here for a minute because if I don't get this water, I'm going to be majorly dehydrated. It's just falling. Actually, I could just put it here. All right, let's restart the live. YouTube, Insta, how you feeling? How you feeling? What you telling me, man? Just the audacity. Why are you coming on my live? Like, do you know what I mean? You're coming on my live with your bold account. You're coming on my live with your bold account to come and do what after you were trying to teeth up my husband. Do you know what I'm saying? This girl was trying to teeth up my husband. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you know what, guys? I'm not gonna lie to you. You see in these church cults, why does my thing look like that? Guys, I'm not going to lie. You see, when you're in these church cults, you're cut off from the outside. YouTube, I'm going to wipe this off. You know this is ghetto. Now. This is ghetto tube. Yes. Anyway, this is me. I don't care. So what I'm going to tell you right now, yeah, is in these church cults here, it's so hard to get a man. I'm not even going to lie to you. And they want you to marry the guys in the church cult, and there's bare dusty man them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the man them are not it. So I've gone and recruited my ex-husband from outside now. That's me. I've gone and recruited him in. And this gal, she's trying to take my man, you know. Oh my gosh. Do you know how hard it is to get to recruit someone from the outside and get them to stay in Dag Heward Mills cult? It's not easy, you know. It's so strict in there. It's like a convent. Oh my God, you know, the amount of control that they do up in there is just absolutely crazy. Guys, I'm not going to stay too much longer, you know, because... let me try and move it like this. Oh my God, guys. When I tell you I've been so unwell and I've got so much to do on the weekend, yeah. So please, guys, send all your positive intentions and pray for me, man. Instagram, you are gonna get like, oh, okay, let me just do it like this because I won't be able to see myself on YouTube. All right, does anyone have any questions? I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to discuss or talk about on here. Sorry, guys, I'm disassociating. You know, it's just so much. There's so much going on, but because it's very sensitive at the moment in my cult, there's things that I'm not going to talk about. But there's a lot going on in my church cult. I'm not even going to lie to you at the moment. There's a lot. There's a lot. I think you're spot on about different types attracted to cults. Did you study psychology? Oh, thanks, Bruce. What does that MC stand for? Have you got a master's in something? Do you know what, Bruce? I actually have a youth and community work degree, and I specialised in working with gangs. So you know, youth and community work, it's many different disciplines, and it's the study of the human behaviour, which is a phenomenon. So I did study, go into a lot of like sociology, philosophy, loads of different disciplines, and then I did a MA in social work. And again, you can go into anything with that. So you know, there's many different disciplines that we need to incorporate. So thanks that you're picking up on that, though. I appreciate it. I want to say as well, I think with Christendom and the kingdom and building this empire, I think we can see projection of rejection from these cult leaders because they were rejects of society. And so what we see is that because they feel rejected from society, they've created their own self-sealing systems within a self-sealing system. Because we're already in the prison planet, we're already in the self-sealing system, we're already in a matrix. Then they create a more hyper controlling environment that is a self-sealing system within a self-sealing system. We could liken it to the city of London. It's a city within a city, because London is just London. Then we've got City of London, which is another city within the city, ascribed to the most elite. So that's what they do. And then they make it like elitist, like we're the one true religion. You know, you have to believe the Bible's infallible. Very black and white thinking. Systems of control. So that people can't be free or won't be free in a certain way because they have to maintain the law, but people are still going to break the law. So what's if they've got this, you know, if this God is planted in their psyche, do you know what I mean? That has this HELL and judgment, enforce, fair and control, manipulate people so that they will be controlled. I'm not saying that God's not real because, Chair, I believe in God, Chair. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that Jesus Christ didn't walk the earth, but it's up to you. It needs to be revealed through the Holy Spirit, not the man, not the middleman. It is revealed through the Holy Spirit. You are not the Holy Spirit. You've got to allow people to find their own way and define, look at what Jesus Christ means for them, to themselves as an individual. Facts on facts. That's what it's about. There's no rules. And that's why they wanted to unalive Christ, because he weren't in no temple. Thanks, Ines. He was in the temple studying the scriptures and whatever, but he weren't like in there, like preaching like how they're doing it Monday, Tuesday. Christ was always outside or under a tree, speaking to someone, always trying to get away. Like he was trying not to tell the people that he was going because he just wanted a minute to pray and just be by themselves. But it's like these pastors want you to be up underneath them. Jesus was trying to preserve his energy. That's what I'm saying. That's why they're lying. They're fake. That's why I can't be around people all the time, because I can like feel it energetically. Like I can feel my energy, like especially if I put energy into people. These pastors are not giving out energy. They're siphoning it. They're taking it. That's why they want the people there all the time. They're siphoning it, and that's where they're getting the energy to do the things that they're doing, to do these worldwide ministries and travel and go. They're siphoning your energy. We are spiritual beings. We are in a 3D world. We're in a 3D dimension. Sorry, but 3D, that does mean three-dimensional. There are different dimensions to this multi-universe. Technology, how we are communicating right now, this is a multi-dimension. It's the dimension of the virtual reality. So there is a spiritual reality, like a spirit realm. How we communicate spiritually and energetically. There's a whole what was it called? Because guys, I'm starting to go into what's it called? I've even forgotten. Sacred geometry. Is anyone into that? I'm starting to look into sacred geometry now. I'm going to have some really good stuff to share with you, because sacred geometry can be found in Genesis. Is it the flower of life, which is the actual blueprint of the universe? Oh my God, it's absolutely breathtaking. I was watching this video yesterday and it was talking about the spirals, and spiritually it's like this kind of like, I don't even know what it is. This video was about 14 years ago, but well beyond its time. Hey, Sarah. And so now we're starting to conceptualize it and understand it. But I will do a bit of content on it, actually, and I'll put it out, guys, for you guys to go check out the YouTube video, because it's been blowing my mind. But I fell asleep yesterday, so I didn't watch it. Yes, it's on YouTube. Do you know what I'm going to do, Ronaldo? But Ronaldo, Queen Innes, can you put my main account, please? It's Leah Lauder 7. Follow that main page, because I'm going to be putting it. Guys, everybody should follow Leah Lauder 7 main TikTok, because that is where I put all of my psycho analysis videos. I put out cult characteristics and like resources, more of my kind of academic lens and kind of like thought process around cults will be on the main page. All right. Oh, okay. Brisa said, clever lady indeed. Yes, I do have an MA, but the mix related to my Celtic heritage. Ooh! Oh, you're a whitey boy. Ooh, do you know what? I've got about 7% Irish in me. I love the Irish. Oh my gosh, your Celtic heritage, amazing. Oh my God, that must have been so interesting. All right, so I will share it because I don't have the details right now, but I know I've saved it to my thing, so I'll go and get it, and I'll thing it, because it was talking about sacred geometry, and it's just the expansion of the mind. Do you know what I mean? Because what it is that there's secrets in the Bible. Do you get what I'm saying? Because that's why you know, Jesus spoke in parables, and it's for us to, because we're on an individual journey, and that's why I don't like sharing too much, because hey Haynes, everybody's on their individual journey and they're finding for themselves. But this sacred geometry thing, I think it would be good to put out there, because I'm also conscious of what I'm putting out there as well. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I want it to feel comfortable for people, and I need to be led on what I'm putting out. Do you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of information, but then I think that's I think I have to correct myself and reflect on that, because I think that's quite an old way of thinking. Because why am I thinking, oh, I've got to be careful? Like, why am I? That's like gatekeep. Oh God, that's a bit of mega church. Ooh, but at least I can notice it in reflection. So now I've said, actually, I just shouldn't care and just put out whatever. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it's not, I don't control anything. People should have the access to information, and then they can choose to engage or not engage. And I think that's the cognitive dissonance. Hey, SA, I think that's the constant battle in my mind, you know, because I've still got a lot of the old kind of the Christian indoctrination like in my psyche, and I'm trying to unpack it to really set myself free, because what I didn't want to do was throw away everything, because I gave it like 18 years, and I said to myself, I'm not going to throw away everything. And also I do still believe in Yeshua, so I need to kind of, I don't know, I feel like I had 18 years of, you know, learning and reciting and regurgitating and knowing scriptures, and now I just want to have a personal relationship. I want to experience God like on a personal level. Like I just want to be free. I just want to go within, and however I feel and whatever resonates with me at the time, like that's what I do. You know, I think it's about feeding my soul. Everything that they told me in the cult, I'm kind of looking at it from the opposite now, because I know they're liars. So like, for example, they demonize self-love. You know, they told us that it was it's from the DEVIL. That's what they told us. They told us that they said that Satan said, I shall arise. And because he was a lover of self, he loved himself, he got cast down. So they basically say that self-love is a new age practice. They said it's pride. So I never done anything for myself. I never had any self-love. The women in there are absolutely, it's like, it's HELR. There's no self-love. There's no, guys, it's so sad. We'll look out for your TikTok when you get to us. We'll look out for TikTok when you get to a certain period in life. It's about looking for answers and challenging injustice. We'll look out for, oh, okay. All right, Breeze. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you, my love. It looks like the YouTube, I've been getting a few people on YouTube chat. That's why I said to myself, let me try and be a bit consistent with this. And they say it's been self-centered. Yeah. Yeah, they say that you're being self-centered. They say that you're a lover of self. They say that you're selfish. Oh my God, that was a big thing in there, man. Being selfish is not always a bad thing. Sometimes you need to be a bit selfish. Hey, Anton. Oh my God, Anton, you look so good. Oh my God, Anton, when I saw that photo, I was like, I'm so happy for you, man. I'm so happy. If you were still in the cult chair, look at you now. I was so happy to see you. That's a survivor. They're doing so well. I was so happy to see you. Big yourself up, bro, man. Yeah, so they will call you selfish. They will beat you down. They will beat you down in there, like, you know, psychologically. Oh my God, guys! When I tell you, yeah, you know what it was like for me. Like, I used to have to ask for permission to go to the toilet. Guys, did you hear what I just said? I used to have to ask for permission to go to the toilet. You know, like when you're working with the pastor, like you're in the office, you're working for the pastor, they make you, but you're a slave in there. You can't go home until they tell you can. Like, you have to be asked to be excused. Yeah, we're all glowing. You're right. You're right. The Lord's glory is upon us. His face is shining upon us. You have to ask. So say like you're in a ministry or whatever, yeah, because they used to have like these choir rehearsals every week, guys. It was like HELL. Everything was by force. Everything was by force. And it's like, if you've got a pastor who's like EVIL, like, that's it, man. Yeah, it's like being at school. That's how they run it, like a strict boarding school. So we've got the choir rehearsal. Say like, I don't know, it's my mother-in-law's birthday, because I was always trying to get out of the choir in that season because it was just so boring. It just used to suck the energy out of me, like, just like, because guys, you got to remember, these so-called leaders, yeah, that are coming in, it's energetic. You know, like when someone's energy, they're low vibrational, and it's like it's like draining you because it's energetic. So like this pastor I'm telling you about, she was like married with 5 kids. She's got all the responsibility of the kids. The husband don't do nothing. She's like a slave in the house. She got cancer because it was so much stress and pressure. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So when she used to come, it was such a low vibration. She's attacking everyone. Like, it's like we were like a punching bag for her. It was just like an offload. It was so crazy. I don't know how that woman didn't completely break me. And I will go into it, but it's just the trauma. I'm just like, you know, kind of processing everything right now. But it's crazy because, and that's why people come out feeling drained. Like, you know, when that girl Angel, like, that's why with her review, I was like, the fact that she said that she felt drained, it was enough. It was enough. That was all we needed to hear, is that she felt drained, yeah. And you know, even when she said it, it started triggering me, because I was like, oh my God, I forgot how draining the environment was. You know, like how it used to drain you, like you would feel so tired by the time you come home. It's like it sucked all the life source out of you, them long services. Oh my God, that's why these people needed to get exposed, chair. Because you lot, they would be in there, they'd be having conventions, and no words of a lie to you, we would be in there till like 1 a.m, 2 a.m, 3 a.m. Like, you're in church for all 10, 12 hours, you know? And the Sunday is that is like the biggest, that is the day of like literal, like they rinse you dry. Like I used to be, yeah, they hold us, yeah. I used to be there from like 8 a.m. But mind you, I have to get up at 6 a.m, leave my house by 7 to go and get the pastor, because I'm driving the head resident pastor that's preaching on Sunday. So we can't be late. So I go and pick him up at 7, then we'll go to the church, and I'll just be cleaning the office. I would get him like make him a hot drink. I get him a pastry, warm it up in the little, because I bought my pastor a little, it's like a microwave oven thing, like a grill, a little one. They didn't ask me. I would just be out and I'd be thinking about them, and I'd want to do like nice things for them. And then I'd warm up the pastry, make him like some coffee. So do you see how people end up sleeping with their pastor? Do you know what I'm saying? Because obviously I'm just there, like I'm doing this, but do you see how girls can get, especially if the pastor's a pred? Because we're in there, like no one's really in the church. I'm in the office for hours. I'm cleaning the office, giving him, serving him, giving this coffee. It's like these pastors have like all these pretty girls like serving them, and you know, like even the food, like they're like kings. Like we would get sent out. Like when I was married and I had my kids, I had to start taking money off him sometimes because it started getting hard. But before that, when I was single, I never took any money off my pastor. I never took the money. I would always just go and buy him his food. So his wife would either cook food and warm it up, or they would send me to Agribesso. It's like a Ghanaian restaurant. It's a lovely Ghanaian takeaway in Peckham. I would advise everyone to go and try it out. They got Agribesso in the cut chair. So, and I would be sent there to go and get the food. And then me and another girl, we would like plate up the food, like sort it all out, like bring it to the pastor. And they got another rule in the cult as well, where they've got rules like, because they got this doctrine, yeah, of familiarity. And it's like, you can't get too familiar with the pastor, because if they get too familiar, then they'll start to like disrespect you. They won't honor you. They won't see you as like a leader, etc. So they got rules, like they're not allowed to like eat in front of, when the pastors aren't supposed to eat in front of us. And then when you go on visitation and you're like you're in a leadership position, you're not allowed to eat. You're not allowed to eat anything in the house. You're only allowed to accept water. But as you get like closer to the people and you get in the inner circle and the inner fold, then obviously they'll eat at your house, this, that, and the third. So when a pastor, like things like that, like when a pastor would eat in your house, like those sort of things, it's like you're trusted. They trust you now, because now they're like breaking the rules. Because they've got rules for like the outer I don't even know, I'm disassociating because guys, this is so triggering. I don't even know how I'm talking about. Thanks for the follow, She-Line. I needed that little encouragement because this is so hard to talk about. So I would clean the office. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Make him the pastry. And then I was like kind of in charge of this first impressions, this hospitality thing. So I would be like checking the uniforms or sorting out the uniforms. Sometimes I might be giving people their uniform that they've paid for. And then, I used to sort out all the uniforms. I used to have like 30 dresses. I'd have to arrange all the sizes, write people's names on all the sizes, bring it to church, give everybody their sizes, make sure everybody looked good and presentable. Because I was almost like the eyes and ears of like the pastors. So when people would see me walk in the church, they know that Reverend's around. Thanks, Ines. So when they're trying to like tell me that they don't know me and that, when I came out and I started speaking out, I was thinking, don't even go there. Do you know what I mean? Like, you lot are trying to deny, like, no, babe. Like, I was definitely a spiritual daughter of the house chair. And but Bishop Richard is really, really EVIR. Oh, hi, Kika. Thanks, Ines, for Go Popular. Oh, you're right, babe. Guys, they absolutely took advantage of me, man. They rinsed me dry, chair. I can't even lie. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, that's why I went, hey, girl, I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping talking now. I don't care what happens. I'll tell you something, though. Most of my spiritual practices is preparing myself, like, for whatever comes, whatever might come my way, because I ain't stopping, chair. Do you know what I mean? Like, I will not be silent, and I'm prepared to go through whatever I need to go through. Do you know what I'm saying? Because, like, you don't take 18 years of my life and completely indoctrinate me. And then the worst part about it was, like, even when I was leaving, yeah, like, and anyway, if anyone's here that knows Richard, just tell Richard I know about him in these streets. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. And when the time is right, Richard will be getting exposed with receipts. Thanks for the follow, Dennis. Yeah, Bishop Richard will be getting exposed. And I can't wait until more people start to speak out as well. Because, guys, as I said to you, you haven't heard anything yet. There are people who have this man has really, like, just almost nearly taken out because of the psychological ABUSE. Because, as I said to you, it's all energetic. They siphon off our energy because they're so drained in there. Do you know what I'm saying? They're so low vibrational that you feel like, even the pastors, like a lot of these lady pastors, they're very insecure. So you have to feel like you always have to be complimenting them. That takes up your energy. And these pastors love to have people around them that are like gifted, good at hair. That's why NGRM, she's got her little Lave Dior in there that does up hair and whatever. CC, they love to have these kind of people around them. So it's like, that just came to my mind. So that they will get these things for free. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They got like stylists on deck. I used to get a headache every Sunday till I changed church. Ooh, yeah, because you know why, Sierra? Your body will speak to you. Your body will speak to you, Queen. And that's why, guys, like part of my getting to know myself is learning like how my body speaks to me. So I don't care where I've got to go. If I get that feeling in my gut, like that same feeling that comes over me when I need to come off TikTok, I don't go. I don't care who I'm going to disappoint. I don't care. I'm not going. If I get a vibe, if I get something's off, and that's because your body will tell you. Like my body has been telling me I need to get some nutrient. Like I'm not well in it. Like I need to eat and I need to. And I just want to say big up a certain survivor, man, because honestly, like I just want to say like I just love the collective. But anyway, get some nutritious foods me, and you can see I'm starting to look a bit more perkier. Do you get what I'm saying? So your body will speak to you because trauma gets stored and trapped in the body, and then that then manifests into headaches, into stomach issues, especially autoimmune things. It's all connected to like your adrenals, your kidneys. Like listen, the top health issues that people will have is things like iron deficiency, hypertension, high blood pressure, stuff to do with the kidneys. The adrenals is a huge one, and the adrenals are a silent unaliver, guys. You know, sometimes you will just feel like you have no energy, like to the point where like you can't move. You'll get a lot of headaches, you will feel a lot of fatigue, you'll feel faint sometimes, lethargic, you'll get a lot of pains and aches like backache. You might find it hard to digest food. Like my pastor's wife has got exactly the same symptoms. Exactly. I told her to call the GP and tell them to get her adrenals checked. That's why people just unalive, especially the stress. Because imagine now one or both of her adrenals are gone, and then the rest of her organs and her body's just overworking. That's why people just drop off. They just drop like flies in there because they're overworking certain organs. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they can't run off that. Where are they? And then they'll be like, oh, the Lord is my strength. But unjust balance is an abomination to God. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can't be in there 24/7. There's got to be a bit of balance. There's got to be a bit of rest. But in there, they don't. In Dag Heward Mill's cult, they don't believe in rest. If they see you resting, you're a sinner. You're not doing the work of the Lord. You're not, people are out there unaliving. You're going on holiday. You're taking a rest. You're da-da-da. They would even say, oh, it's so hard to get a job. And you're taking time off for a flu, for cold. And so many people want a job. So people go into work sick. Yeah, they just overwork themselves. The last day I was in one of these churches, something told me to get out. Yeah, it will just, your body will just speak to you. There's just a certain point. For me, it was when I felt like I was losing like myself. Like I was turning into this monster. Like I couldn't recognize myself. And I was like, oh my God, like who am I becoming? And I just looked in the mirror and I was like, I'm a monster. I don't recognize myself. I was like, I got to get out of here. Do you know what I mean? It's a cult. Like when you go on and you look at them characteristics of a cult, once you see it, there's no unseeing it. There's absolutely no unseeing it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like it's there. It's in black and white. Like I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is my. Oh, I can't find my cereal bar. Yeah. I was like, no. There's no way. I remember when I went on and I seen it for the first time, all of the characteristics. I was like, blood clot. I'm in a cult. I feel that it's a slave mindset that they have. Yeah. Babe, slavery never ended. Babe, what is a slave? It is sad to come to these realizations. I'm not going to lie, guys. And it takes like, you've got to be really strong mentally to, really unpack it and really try and, like understand, the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts, guys. Do you know what I mean? The truth hurts. It's not always easy. And that's why, they just can't. I just really, I just hope and pray that more changes come, man. Yeah. Because you know what it is, babe? Do you know where this like grandiosity comes from as well? Like where they think they're above the law and they've got this authority, and because there's been so much corruption with Christianity, like the King James version, like the kings. Because remember, religion, government, the royals, it wasn't separated. Remember that, guys? Back in the day, that's why King Henry VIII that's why he set up Church of England so he could divorce his wife. There's a whole religion that stands to this day that was set up because a king that unalived, what did he have? King Henry and his, was it 8 wives or 6 wives? My man unalived a good 6, 7 women. There's so much I need to do. I think I'm going to start the horrible histories of Christianity because I'm quite the historian. Oh, 6 wives. All right. My sister might jump on that as well. Yeah. The 6 wives. So he's unalived 6 wives because he wanted to remarry and get a male heir to the throne or whatever it was that he was trying to do up. And he started that new religion so that he could unalive, divorce his wives and remarry them. Why? Because religion is power. So he didn't want to let go of because Christianity is power. So you get a lot of power hungry egos, narcissists. There's been an infiltration. I'm just glad I'm out of their jail. Do you know what I mean? Because it's rife in there. Absolutely rife. Thanks, Sarah. It's absolutely rife in their jail. Do you understand that you've got people, devout followers of Church of England, and the way that religion was started, because remember, it's not Catholicism, but the only religions that they say or whatever is that this nation is Church of England and Catholicism. That's what these people need to remember when they're out doing outreach on the street and they're doing up. The Catholics don't do that. That's what they need to remember. The Catholic, it's not a Christian nation. I think I'm going to do a bit of content because you know these these pastors are so delulu. It's not a Christian nation, my love. It's a Catholic nation, and it's the Church of England. That is actually our religion. It's the Church of England. The Church of England and Catholicism. Catholicism do not accept any other church outside of Catholicism and Church of England. Facts on facts. So when you're out doing your little evangelism and that, they're going to move you because you don't see Catholics outside doing that. They have their mass at 9 a.m. Everybody comes for an hour. They say their little recites. They do their little rituals and take their communion and they go home. All right? It's only you lot that are in these streets, ABUSE and people shouting out of big megaphones, standing on things that you shouldn't be standing on, disturbing the peace, public display of absolute, it's a circus. You turn it into a circus. You've got no permit. You have to be accountable to the laws of the land, just like your pastors are accountable to the laws of the land. That's why they're charity commissioned. Yeah, under the company's house. That's why they don't pay taxes, babe. Yeah, because they abide to the law of the land. I'll scratch your back, you'll scratch mine. So whilst you've been scratching and collecting from the company's house, now we're collecting you off these streets. Thank you, babe. Yeah, because it's too aggressive. And the Catholics don't do it, unfortunately. And it's not a Christian nation. It's always been a Catholic and Church of England nation. That's on period, point blank. So unfortunately, you're illegitimate. They don't see you as the true Christians. They just see you as a bunch of barbaric people on the roadside. Is it true that they use Dag Heward Mills books instead of the Bible directly to preach? Yes, Jerome. Yes, Jerome. Yes, Jerome, it's true. These are just a few by my bedside that I have to hand. You know, he's got a whole collection. You know, I could open any one of these books and just read it, and it's just absolute human fecal matter. Those who are dangerous sons. We are not a novice. 10 reasons why you must be a soul winner. Oh, he's got name it, claim it, take it. These aren't even some of the worst, chair. Had to cleanse them books, man. Put some EVIL energy on them. Yes, if you preach from the Bible, you're seen as they got a word in there. It's cult jargon. They call you an orangu. They'll say you got an independent spirit, and they'll be talking about you in the church. They'll be cursing you from the pulpit. They'll be telling you that you got an independent spirit. They'll be telling you that you're a DEVIL. Oh, I was in a church cult for 18 years, mister. My cult leader's called Dag Heward Mills. He's got a compound in Ghana. Thanks for the follow. Am I close? Did I get it right? Do you like my French? Woo! Look at what Lucia put. Oh my gosh, I'm finding it. Oh, I think Ines did pin that comment, but it went. Basically, I got recruited when I was 18. They gaslit me. They told me that singing in the world was evil. My boyfriend had been unalived in police custody, so I was vulnerable. I left my singing in the world to start singing in the church cult, and they just indoctrinated me heavily and used and abused me, rinsed me dry, doing various different tactics, because it's like working there, but you're not getting paid, innit? Because I'm a singer. Okay, so Lucia's put in what happened, what King Henry did up. And it was, and again, do you see the justification for unaliving these women? They didn't care. They didn't care like about women back then. Remember, I said to you, they were just seen as like, we were just seen as things, like objects. That's why we're seeing matriarchy now, you know, like there's a real fight, you know, for us to be like respected and come back to our rightful place. Evangelizing is important, but screaming around isn't the right way. Should do it by talking with love. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't mind people who come out and they want to talk and whatever, but when they're shouting in the megaphones and they're being aggressive and they've got their big I don't think they should be allowed the speakers. They don't need the speakers. Do you know what I mean? They should just stand there and talk to people. If people don't receive you, leave them, let them walk on by. Walk on by. Do, 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 do. Walk on by. Just walk on by. You get me? Why are you harassing people and running people down and force feeding it, shoving it down their throat? You got the megaphones. Listen, it's too aggressive. If I see them out, I'm calling the police. That's what I'm doing up from now on. That's what I'm doing up. That's what I'm doing up. And I'll create commotion. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. Because all of them round here in the sticks, they're all going to agree with me. But the whiteys are scared because they don't want to look aces. But it's all right, babe. I'll be the Karen. Do you know what I'm saying? Men are cur. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? What you doing? Like, don't try me, babe. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. Because just how you lot use systems and structures to do up whatever, do you understand what I'm saying? It's just all manipulation. They come and infiltrate the space. You'll be shopping. There's like 10 of them. They've all got their tracks. They're shoving it in your face. They're talking and like just talking at you. Who's going to stop for that? Did you know that Jesus is, and another thing that they're saying, but remember, a Christian, do you see how, because they're so indoctrinated, yeah? A Christian's never going to agree because they've got a lot of us versus them. They've got a lot of phobic. They've got a lot of, so once it doesn't matter what the person's doing. If they're phobic, they don't care about right or wrong. They will just take the side of this is what the Bible says. Do you understand? So if they're telling people that they're going to go, if they go to specific spots where there's maybe a pride event, or they go to Soho, they go to an area that's known for, you know, the LGBTQ plus community. So you have purposefully gone there to go and preach to people who are minding their own business. They're not in your space. They haven't decided to come to church. They're not done anything. You've gone into their space to go and tell them they're going to HELL. When we put the Bible aside, that's aggressive, that's harassment, that's discrimination. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So they can't cloak it with religion anymore because that's not right. That's not right. Just like the other guy who went to Glastonbury to go and target the spiritualists, you've got on a coach, however many hours, to go there, to go and tell these people are going to HELL and be aggressive. What? And there's no one that is going to come in my face to face and eyeball to eyeball and tell me that is evangelism. No one's going to tell me that to my face. No one, nobody. There's nobody that is going to stand in my boat and tell me that that's evangelism to my face. There's no one. There's no one that's going to win that argument, baby. Not online, not in real life, not anywhere, not any day, not any time. No one's going to win that argument. That's on period, point blank, because that's not evangelism. That's ABUSE. And do you know what I find with you see these men them that do the evangelism? These are the most ABUSIV narcissistic men that you could find. These are the vigilantes of the megachurch. These are the men that have been rejected. They haven't got the positions that they wanted, so they go and make themselves self-proclaimed evangelists. They're running from self. A lot of them are in really unhappy marriages as well. They don't want to be in the marriages. So they travel a lot doing up this evangelism and taking out all of it's all projection. A lot of these guys are very aggressive. And I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying some of them, the way that I see them, how they get so aggressive, it's like they can't control their own temperance. They can't control their own, do you understand what I'm saying? Like aggressive urges and tempers and whatever. And you see it come out. You see it come out in the way that they interact. That's what I'm saying. The fruit, Do you see how warped it is? They believe that the fruits of the spirit is going outside with a big microphone, with a speaker, projecting, shouting, and telling people they're going to HELL, yeah? The issue here is that the way that they're doing the evangelism is wrong. It's ABUSE. It's not displaying the fruits of the spirit. Your character, the way you're doing things, is not displaying the fruits of the spirit. Like I told you with that idiot that's doing the street preaching, yeah? Thanks, Ange. There was a drunk guy, and he wanted to just say in the mic, I love Jesus. He said, oh, no, I can't let you, mate. Not in the state you're in. You know, some people say that they love God, but they're not really demonstrating Christ. But are you demonstrating Christ? Because that's not the fruits of the spirit. You think you're out doing the fruits of the spirit because your cult has taught you that faith plus works equals salvation. So you feel like you have to do up these works. That's why you're out there shouting in a microphone. You've completely lost sight of it. You've completely lost the Good Samaritan. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Jesus used to eat with the sinners and the SEX workers and the whatever. If Jesus used to sit with them and preach to them and be delivering them, and their lives were getting changed when he was just in their presence, how are you not? Why is someone not allowed? Who made you the president of who made you God? Who made you God? Who made you be able to see the hearts of man? So do you see how, because of the ego and because of all the ranking and the positions and the mess that it's become, these guys think they're above people, when in the Bible it says, what is it? The least among you shall become the greatest amongst you, or something like that. Servanthood is not, daddy, yes, please. Yes, sir. Yes, please. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's not what servanthood is. And I'm not going to say it on here because I don't want to reveal that to them. That to understand the servanthood of Christ and what that means to you, you have to go through a lot of trials, a lot of tests. I'm not prepared to reveal it. Those who have an ear, let them hear. Those who know, share. But that is the sovereignty and the servanthood of Christ. That's not something that I'll reveal now. And I might write a bit of a spiritual book, you know, about Christ. But I think I need like a. It might be because you don't know. Like in a couple of months, I might be completely different by the end of the year, maybe next year. I don't know, but I just need to. I'm getting myself into getting my health back up, and I'm gonna start writing from tomorrow. I'm gonna dedicate myself to writing, like even if it's an hour each day. I've got to start getting disciplined. It comes out when you confront them. Woo! And you know what they do? Because they're narcissists, they do this narcissistic, it's the narcissistic reactive abuse. Because like this guy, I can't even remember his name, this street preacher guy. And you know, when I went on his TikTok, he's got like 100,000 people. I'm thinking, who is following this dude? But it's Christianity. Christians are so naive into you, and it's crazy. So he's gone to go and do up his aggressive evangelism in Berlin. Yeah. So now a guy who I think he's visibly disabled. Yeah. In his speech, in his presentation, you can see that. You don't need to be a qualified person to see that it's visible. Yeah. So this guy's come out very distressed and said, could you please turn off the mic? It's really late and we're trying to sleep. Like, because they were like, must have been right underneath his house because it was on a residential area. He's like, oh, but this guy started saying to this guy, the aggressive evangelist, oh, but there's clubs here. Do you see the gaslighting? He's not answering his question. He's not responding. He's like, oh, no. He's telling the guy, oh, calm down. He's being patronizing. Oh, calm down. Why should he calm down? He's paying his rent. Have you got a permit? Are you allowed to be doing up what you're doing there? You're disturbing the peace. Yeah, it's late. So instead of him taking accountability, he's gaslit the guy. I'm sure this guy was Down syndrome. He's gaslit the guy to tell him, oh, how there's clubs around here. So he's gaslit him. I couldn't believe it. And the guy started saying, no, you need to turn it off. And then you hear the other guy, Shabaya Sataraba, Jesus. He starts praying. It's just so hyper religious. It's the hyper religiosity is sickening. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because their head is just in the cloud. What happened? So eventually the police got called. So the police have come and got called now. This guy's telling the guy to keep recording. They start speaking in tongues. And he's saying he's got a Christian lawyer. So people are supporting this type of ABUSE behavior. I think it's absolutely disgusting. It's just a bag of little boys. Do you know what I'm saying? Running around in these streets trying to validate themselves. Is it true that they use Dag Heward Mills to breathe? Yeah. It's all his books, chair. So do you see that when the police came now, he's turned off the mic? But when the neighbor was asking you, you didn't turn off the mic. So do you see that it creates conflict? It creates us versus them because they're proud, they're egotistical, they're not listening to no one else. They see it as us versus them, like this is the DEVAR, the devil. And then on top of it, the guy's got a you know what. So that's a demon, innit? That needs to be cast out. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's that type of thinking. They're not thinking logically. It's only when they see blue flashing lights that they're now turning down the mic. But the neighbor came out and he asked you nicely to turn off the mic. He said that he was trying to sleep. That could have been resolved. No police would have been called. But one of the characteristics of these cults is that it creates conflict because of the differing beliefs and because of the pride. And a lot of them are narcissists, and they take on the pseudo personality of the cult leader who raised these men up to be narcissistic, egotistical, chauvinistic, hyper masculine men. All right, that's what they're doing up in there. And it's a great shame because we've got a lost generation. We've got a generation of confused men that are feminine. It's giving DL fruity vibes. They're neither feminine nor masculine. They're not providers. They depend on the wives. They're doing up 50-50. It's just the MESS. You know, it hurts my head. I'm just glad I'm out of there. Ciao. Does anyone have any questions? Because them men in there, oh my God, they don't LOVE their wives. They don't LOVE. They choose a lave. That's how the pastors indoctrinate them to choose. So that you can do your ministry. You need a woman that will listen. A woman, when you say to sit, she will sit. A woman that will help you to build the ministry. Everything's about building. That's how. Don't ever get it twisted. Them wives don't just get the ring on the finger like that, child. They've been working. They've been putting in that work. Don't ever get it twisted. They've been putting in that work to get chosen, for the pastor to recommend them. Ooh! Someone said I can't speak too much, but it's true. Ooh. Are you okay, I'm not going to ask you anything, so you must be a survivor. Do you know what? That's just how it goes. Are you asking me, are there good churches out there? Babe, I don't know, because I'm not God. I can't judge the heart and mind of man. And because I can't do that, I'm just not prepared to go to the spaces. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna worship God in my own time. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that there's enough out there for us to be able to create our own communities, create our own groups. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because, you know, guys, I think we're in a time of like healing. I think the last thing anyone wants right now is religion. We've been doing up religion for thousands of years. It's just because it's people's codependent mechanism. A lot of people have trauma bonds with the church as well, because they formed that relationship, like that bond with these church settings when their mum had just unalived, they just got raped, they've been essayed their whole life, you know, and then they come to this church and they form trauma bonds with the environment, with what they've sold them, the ideology, and they don't want to give that up because people's world, it all falls apart. Like, I get it, but the truth has to come out, unfortunately. Yeah, they want weak-minded people that they can control, insecure people. Their bread and butter is vulnerable adults. If you go in a church and when you're in that church, all you see is young kids and the adults are vulnerable, ask people their story. Like, how did they find the church? Like, what was their life before? What was their background? What's their testimony? Ask them what's their testimony. It's all trauma. It's all trauma. You're not going to get any adult in their right mind that's going to be in these church cults. They've either been recruited, thanks Queen Charles, they've either been recruited young, so they've been in there since they were 18, 17, 19, the whole family's in there. And then you've got the gal them that are in there for some D. So because their husband's in there, they're in there. Because there's certain gal them that will go to the church. There was a gal that I was speaking to an OG about yesterday. When I tell you this, like, she is one of the most cantankerous people that I've ever met in my life, because you get a lot of these type of gal them in these settings. Yeah, when I tell you this man, guys, he looked like he wasn't from this planet. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, she went to go and marry this ninja. The guy was rich, innit? He's got a good job. So that's what them gal them do. Remember I told you there's honey trappers, like they'll come in the church. Don't ever get it twisted. The women benefit as well, because there's other women, they're like divorced 3 times. Like they're on like there's certain gal them that's older than me and they're on their 2nd, 3rd marriage. There's certain gal them, if they've been in the church for like a decade, 15 years, the pastor's going to shepherdori or link them. So he's going to do arranged marriages in Ghana. And I've got a survivor that's come forward that started to expose that. So they do up arranged marriages like cross water, because the guy's going to get his visa and then the gal is going to get a husband. I remember girls, going to Ghana and getting these husbands and coming back and, doing these weddings here. And then all of a sudden it's like this guy from Ghana. He's just in the church all of a sudden. Thanks for the follow on Instagram. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what they're doing up. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Remember, I got engaged after 2 months and married and pregnant in under a year. That's what they'll have people doing in there. Because remember, like, and they don't really talk about, I don't know, like they don't even talk about birth control in there. They talk about they talk about all of the stuff that's not going to help you. To keep your head in the clouds, to keep you indoctrinated, all of the practical things, like when you get married, like they need to give people practical steps, like when you get married, where you live in, your council tax, understanding how to pay bills in it, because they're kids getting married, they're kids, they're young people, they're young adults. People are getting married as young as 19, 22, 23, 24, they're kids. Ooh. There's a survivor on TikTok, Look Within, saying they get married and the husbands cheat. Have you guys seen all of these skits that have been going viral? And it's like the podcast, the Christian podcast. Oh yeah, I mean, when I met my wife, I thought she was unattractive. I had absolutely no feeling of actual desire towards her. I mean, the girl that I was with, a couple of months ago, she looked like an absolute supermodel. So it was like I downgraded from a supermodel editorial, beaut, to this kind of just like a maid. But I just thank God, because I needed someone who was going to support the work of God. Like they've been doing these kind of skits, and it's absolutely hilarious but sad at the same time, because this is what they're really doing up, and people are clocking onto it now. Everybody's talking about it, and that's what I was telling you guys. Do you see, since we've started as a collective, this is not physical. Remember, I said to you, this is spiritual. Because what they do in these church cults, it's like, that's why their power, like they don't have that dominion, because we're a collective. We're part of a wider collective globally that is awakening to the fact that we need to the power that religion has, it needs to come down, like the stronghold, it needs to come down now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, we're all on the same page, because it's about having the same vision and mind. Oh, hey baby girl, imagine if your girl said that about you. We all having the same mind, and because we're putting that out energetically, because it's about a collective consciousness that's going into the airways. That's why they have the television, that's why they have media, to manipulate our minds, to control us, to get it into our psyche, our subconscious. It's all programming, TV programs, it's all programmings to program us, to get us to think in a certain way. So that starts to shape our reality. That's why they put that scaremongering, the news out, all of that stuff. So it starts to get in our psyche. We all start to think it. It all starts to become a reality. So the power is in the numbers. The power is in the collective. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So that's why there's been impact. And now more people are getting bold to speak out and come out. And now survivors are feeling empowered, because when you come out, it's not just like you've come out and you're on your own. You're part of a collective, B. Even before you come out, you're already in the collective. You know them ones. There's a support space. There's a live. You can reach out to me. There's a community of survivors. It's not like how it was last year. That's not what we're doing up. We spiritually, guys, we have definitely become more stronger, and we've grown and we've become more powerful. The movement has become more powerful, and I want everybody to know that on period point blank. Because you see these man them, that's why they're onto us so much. That's why they're reporting the lives. That's why they're trying to get us off, because they know the impact that it's having. They know Wagwan. They're desperate at the moment, clutching for straws. I'm telling you, they're riding off the back of old glory. Christianity is the biggest religion in the world. It's going to take us time. Do you understand? To put this politician. Oh my God. Yeah. More people are leaving the cult. Yes. Guys. And the thing is, the propaganda that they put in, because we're speaking to people, we're coming across people every day. We're on the internet. We are seeing it. And it's not even to do with our algorithms, guys, because wherever you go, whatever you see, it's on the news. It's everywhere. We're seeing people leaving. We're speaking to people leaving. Look how many people come on the lives, Jail, every single day and telling us that they've left, they're in this situation. So what it is it's a lot of propaganda. They know how, and it's, guys, you have to remember when you were in there what the recruitment was like. It's constant. We're out there every single day. That's how they get. Yeah, girl. I'm starting to feel better now. Thanks for the follow, Tracy. I'm starting to feel better now, babe. So I will be calling you tomorrow. You're like first up for me to call. Out of the sisterhood circle. What cult? I'm talking about, I'm just talking about religion at the moment, but we are talking about NGRM currently. First Love Church Cult, Caris, Dag Heward Mills is my cult leader. So guys, I think I'm going to start heading off now. I might be back on. It's like 9:10, isn't it? I might be back on. You never know. I've just got, do you know what I've done up, guys? I've just got a beautiful kind of candlelit vibe going on in my room. And I don't know, I just want to kind of, maybe I might make myself another little bagel. I might come back on TikTok though, I'm not going to lie. Might make myself a little bagel, just chill. Unless anyone's got any questions, but if you lot are feeling the live and you want to ask me a few questions, then I'm happy to answer, like be on for another like 10. But guys, doesn't the time go fast? Do you know how long we've been on here for? 1 hour and 35 minutes. It doesn't feel like 1 hour and 35 minutes, does it? It's absolutely crazy. Oh, I'm getting a bit hot, guys. I'm going to take off this cover. YouTube, you might be able to see a bit of leg chair. I don't know what you can see on here, chair. Let's see. Look at me. I'm so naughty. I can't help myself. Do you know what I mean? That's why it's like, I'm not going to try and be something I'm not, babe. I'm just going to be myself. You know what I mean? Like free. And guys, I want to say as well, yeah, this is the kind of last thing that I'm going to say. And this is my YouTube. Please subscribe, guys. If you're on here and you've been feeling it, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to have it all together and like have a label. Like, do you know what I mean? Like you need to say, oh, you're a Christian or you're this or you're that. Even if, you know, you've got questions about Christ, you're still deconstructing, you're still figuring it out. It's okay. We're allowed to do this. It's like, that's the point. When you come out of a breakup, you give yourself time to heal. Do you understand what I'm saying? Woo! Yeah, Joker, the next time record it. Yeah, because Joker saw her cursing people, CC, on the live. But I've got a little recording of her. Just it's just the MESS in there, child. That's all that is. The MESS in there, child. They cut babe, have you seen Dior's testimony that she put out there? She's put out a little testimony. I've got to do a piece on that. It's just a lot. I don't even know what time I'm gonna be on live tomorrow, man. I'm gonna have to see because I got so much content to do, man. But yes, that's what they're doing up. I would say, yeah, it's true. The married men have a lack of boundaries. Ooh, yeah, they're all there sleeping with the women in the church. I know. You're talking about the hair, innit? Is it the hair, the Missy Elliott? Get your freak on. Get that finger wave, chair. Anyway, please don't draw me out, babe, because you know what I'm like. All right, guys, I'm going to head off because, you know, this is when I always get myself in trouble. But NGRM will be exposed. Because you know what, guys, I thought the exposure was going to start this week, but I'm not going to lie. I've been so unwell. And then I've got the Grenfell anniversary on Saturday. It's Father's Day on Sunday. So what I'm going to say is I'm just going to start afresh on Monday. But you know I'm going to be putting content in between. But the going in, like when I'm putting out content, that's going to be happening from Monday. All right. So I'm going to go now, guys. I might come back later. If not, I will be on tomorrow at some point. Look out for the content. That survivor that's pinned, because I don't want to be just like screaming out your name on the live. Can you call me tomorrow, please? Yeah, so we can have a little catch up because I haven't even updated you. Can have a quick one. And also, we've got a survivor link up on the 20th of July. It's going to be in South London, Denmark Hill, in the Weatherspoons there. They've got a lovely outside bit. So everybody just bear that in mind, the 20th, yeah, because I don't know if I am going to put it up. I have to put it up soon, though, innit? Okay, I'll put it up tomorrow. So people know that we're there. So if you do want to come along, it's just going to be a time of vibes, just to, you know, speak to other survivors. So if you do want to come, then, yeah, feel free to come if you're a survivor. All right, then, guys. Love y'all. I think I'm going to come off Instagram first. Bye. And then I'm going to come off YouTube. YouTube, thanks for coming. It's been a good live. Please subscribe and engage with the content. I love y'all. Thank you. I'll be back tomorrow. So